Hey Gemini, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your March general reading. So, wow, let's talk about your meditation. So, is anyone familiar with the tale of Jonah and the whale? That's where I was taken to quite immediately. I saw this I guess it was like a blue sperm whale, I guess it would be, a huge whale in the ocean, you don't say. And I saw the Gemini collective in the belly of this whale in their own art studio. It was funny. It felt very much like a Wes Anderson film. If anyone is familiar with Wes Anderson, he did the Royal Tenenbaums, like the... I feel like the rest are like flying out of my mind, like Budapest Hotel, something like that. He's got a very unique take and sense of humor where even if you didn't know before seeing his films, if you're familiar with him, that you're about to watch a Wes Anderson film, you get it pretty quickly because he has a very unique style that is very much all his own, and it's really beautiful. He doesn't really try to fit within certain parameters or make that Hollywood blockbuster. He's really successful because his art is an exact reflection of his own inner quirkiness and his inner life brought to the screen. So it's really interesting how that came across. So I saw the Gemini collective in the belly of this whale that y'all had taken up residence, and it was this beautiful, artist den in the belly of this whale where you were just doing your due, loving your own company, just loving the space that you're in. I saw you, hanging this curtain here and then writing a note down here and then checking over here and then fluffing the pillows, just really living your own best life within the belly of this whale. And then I saw you at certain moments kind of climb up and look out of the blowhole of the whale to kind of take stock of what was around. Then you went back down and continued your thing, right? So there's an aspect of this that feels like timing as well. Oh, 222. Interesting. I just saw 222 on the timer, which is about partnership and balance, which is really cool. So it's interesting. Back to this idea of timing. It feels like there's a measure of accruing your energy, right? But also seeing to the details of something within an imaginative context, right? It feels like you are dreaming of something, you're imagining something into being, but you understand that the time to actually bring that to physical fruition, as it were, will be revealed at the time, right? It's not like you're planning ahead and going, okay, on March 17th, I'm going to yada, yada, yada. But no, it feels like you are partaking in the pleasure of the now moment and with whatever you're called to do in a moment-to-moment basis. But it's funny because doing this and finding the pleasure and joy in it is allowing you to dream yourself into a potential future. And it looks like you're not even tying yourself down to one given area or one specific path, whether this be work, relationship, or otherwise, right? Or location even, right? It's like you're going, what if I dreamed myself here and thought about moving and living in this place? What if I followed this path of potentiality in my mind? Right? And go, ooh, what if I did this? What if I took up this kind of work? Or what if I moved over here? Or what if I wrote this? Or what if right? It feels like there's a whole palette of potential here, and you're really enjoying the menu before you choose an item and place it and then take the steps to bring it to fruition, which is really cool. It feels very much like an artist den, but the artist being the great creator that you are, right? So it's not limited to just like creative arts, but art in terms of something that you create and put out into the world, right? Curating your own reality and optionality here, right? So it's really cool. It's really cool. Oh my God. You got the deer, and I'm here for this in a few different ways. The deer equates to the Empress in the Tarot. The Empress is really pregnant. And we were talking about the belly of the whale. Hello. I'm so obsessed with this. Because remember, we're talking about creation, and this is giving birth to new experiences. This is giving birth to a new set of given circumstances. This is giving birth, right, to the life that you desire, that you want, that you're going after, right? That you are dreaming into being. And we have the deer with the Empress. Are you serious? So also think about the gestation period as well. When I saw you guys in the belly of this whale, it was like you're taking your time enjoying it and then coming up to see, is it time? No. Oh, is it time? No, not yet. Right? And if you think about the, pregnancy, right? That's a process, right? And that baby's going to be born when that baby's born. So it's interesting from that aspect as well, right? The deer medicine also is about unconditional love, but it's also about, and I always think of Brene Brown when the deer comes up, which she says that, true strength lies in being vulnerable, right? And that's deer medicine for you, right? Can you be vulnerable enough with yourself to give yourself the gift of not having the answer? Can you allow yourself to luxuriate in the time before you know where you're going? Ooh, I just got shivvies, right? Can you enjoy the pregnancy stage? Ooh, okay. Let's see what's going on, Gemini. I love deer energy so much. I really, really do. Oh my God, I cannot with this, but I will. You got the Empress. We were just talking about the Empress though. Double Empress. Wow. So I basically just talked about this, but I'm really like giving birth to new conditions, enjoying the pregnancy phase, allowing yourself to revel in the time before, right? So what's really cool about this though, is that, do you see how this Highland cattle, how, her hair is in her eyes and peeking through, and we're talking about, enjoying the time before, knowing exactly where you're going, right? And looking through the people to see, is this the time? No, is this the time? Right? This is really beautiful. This is a very happy expectation, enjoying the time it takes to really, build and create and imagine into being the path forward, right? Gemini, this feels so lovely. I also love that you have two land animals here, and you have the green and the green, which shows a certain element of groundedness and heart space, right? Where you're connecting to your heart in terms of what you feel called to do, what you want to do. You're dreaming. You're dreaming about potentials, and it feels really good. It feels really, really good. Oh my God. Seven of Pentacles. Interesting. I think these are elk. Or are they? No, I think these are elk, right? Similar to the deer. So look at all these horns and things. It's interesting. So Earth energy here, it's really nice. This is Seven of Pentacles. So this is very much about patience and timing. What was I talking about with the timing in the belly of the whale? But I can't tell you, Gemini, how wonderful this feels to tap into this energy and say, like, timing is at play, but you have received that memo. And you are embodying patience. You're enjoying the time before you get there. And that's really, listen, that is no small thing. That is huge. Right? And if you ever feel yourself tempted to get ahead of yourself or think too pragmatically at this point, allow yourself to be drawn back into what feels good. Because if you start thinking about, the details or how is this going to work, or the facts, or the figures, or the numbers, or the timing, or the contracts, or whatever that is, and you start to feel anxiety, or you start to feel sadness, or you start to feel discomfort, take that as a cue to just slowly back away from that line of thinking and re-engage with that moment-to-moment feel-good and that imaginative thinking of what could be and the pregnant possibilities, that true potential that lies before you, right? This is another way of saying the same thing with the gestation period. I'm obsessed with this. Listen, there's an aspect here with these two locking horns behind you, right? There's an aspect here where there's this feeling of, if you are used to having to put a lot of effort into things to have them go your way, you are being invited to work with the current energy as it is and allow it to be different, right? Not every road, not everything has to be full of effort, right? There is a way to work smarter and not harder, to imagine yourself and enjoy that process of, the potential of it. It's really cool. You can even look at it as like a delayed gratification, if you will, right? Because you're going to get there. It's just enjoying it. I cannot with this reading, Gemini. I cannot. 8 of Wands. Are you serious? I love how this is storyboarding. Gemini, you are in a very sweet pocket of time, I say to you. This feels really beautiful. 8 of Wands is fast forward movement. This is messages. This is offers. This is agreements. This is passion. This is work. This is play. This is travel. This is ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Right? Do you see how this is storyboarding? Gestation period, right? Enjoying the time before you get to where you're really imagining yourself into the happy potential of where you can only dream of being. Into the Seven of Pentacles, practicing patience and trusting and believing that the seeds that you've sown while in the Empress position, right, will bear fruit. And knowing that there's nothing for you to do at this time with the locking of the horns except enjoy. And have a happy expectation. You know, they say like expectations are limitations. That's true. But we can also look at it through the lens of when we expect everything to work out for us, that's a very powerful energy. When we combat that with, I'm kind of expecting it to be difficult, or I'm kind of expecting it not to go my way. I'm kind of expecting this, right? That's a self-fulfilling prophecy right there, right? But can you expect things to go your way? Which leads to the Eight of Wands, fast forward movement ahead. Do you see this? Jonah with the belly of the whale? This is so cool. Interesting. You see these mountains in the background here? The Empress in the mountains, and then suddenly the path is cleared, there are no more mountains. Everything is being worked out in your highest and best good. Really all that's called for is to enjoy it, not get in your own way. Empress. Oh my God, I love this so much. Double Empress. And all this earth energy too. It's really beautiful. Ugh. There we go. Okay. Knight of Swords here to clarify the Empress. This is truth. This is realization. This is becoming clear. This is exactly what I was talking about with imagining yourself into the potential of something, right? Again, this could be work-related, relationship-related, child-related, anything related, home-related, right? But see how this beautiful, I think this is a Scottish Highland kettle, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is just literally sitting here chilling, and then I'm hearing that, I forget what animal medicine this equates to, but there's a specific animal medicine whose tagline goes, the answers lie in the stillness. And then we have the Knight of Swords representing the answers here, and then Jonah back in that belly of the whale. The answers lie in the stillness. The answers lie in the now moment. All the future is yet to be made choices, lining up the wheel of fortune, as I like to say, right? The answers lie in the stillness. This is really cool. It's like you're giving yourself, you're opening a path to some big realization and ideas. It's like you're allowing yourself to exist outside of your preconceived limitations, and as a result, you're able to imagine a life that almost feels too good to be true, but it's not, right? Oh my God. I'm so here for this. Karma, judgment. So I love that this is clarifying the Seven of Pentacles. So karma, judgment. So the tagline of this key is look back with pleasure, right? This is about us not living in the past, thank you, but referring to the past, looking and revisiting the past momentarily, right? For a given length of time in order to glean lessons and directions so that the path ahead becomes clear. Look back to move forward. That's what judgment and karma is. And the fact that we have this Seven of Pentacles, do you remember when I said, and it's called karma in this deck, which is even better in this context, right? Remember when we said that this is about allowing yourself to practice patience and the trust that the seeds that you've sown will bear fruit, and that everything is being worked out for you in your highest and best good, and it doesn't involve direct action taken by you at this particular point in time. We're also talking about March, the third month of the year. Empress is number 3. There's something in that for you, right? And then karma comes up to say, oh yeah, actually, we're going to go ahead and validate that. Thank you very much. Everything is being orchestrated within your divine and best good. Why? Because you have gotten out of the way of it. because you're allowing it, because you're not combating this potential energy with, I don't think it's going to go that way for me, or, oh, it's probably not going to work out, or, oh, I'm thinking the worst case scenario, which is very human, by the way, but it is a block to potential energies, right, that exist outside of that limited mindset or fear-based thinking, if you want to look at it that way, right? Listen. Whenever karma comes up, especially as it's coming up in this context of the Seven of Pentacles, and you got Empress all over here, right? There's an aspect to everything in your life. You accrue energy, you accrue karma, you accrue. Every action that you've taken, that anytime something was unfair, right? Anytime something, didn't go your way, but there was nothing, within you that was a cause for it in terms of, when you've been on the raw end of a deal, or when someone mistreated you, right? Anything that's unfair or imbalanced, whenever karma comes in, especially like I said, in this context, see these two fighting it out back here? You're allowing this to be worked out with and for you, but it's interesting because it doesn't require you to step up and go, okay, I'm going to take action around this. I'm going to move forward on it. Not during this moment in time. This is allowing yourself to reap the fruit that you have sown energetically through your previous actions, right? Interesting how sometimes it goes this way of the path of least resistance, right? It's interesting. There's 3 people on this key of karma here as well, and 3 keeps coming up for you. 3 is a number of mind, body, spirit, right? It's the trifecta, right? I keep hearing that this is, because it's back to this eclipse energy as well. The more you believe something, the more you believe it before you see it, the more you believe it into existence, that is you aligning with your natural and inherent creator energy. That's what you are. You're a creator, right? It's what separates us from the Highland cattle, right? Like, they're creators in terms of bringing new life into the world, but they don't make art, right? They don't start businesses. They don't, you know what I mean? So when you allow yourself to be within that energy and you're going, okay, I am co-creating something that I may not know exactly what it looks like yet, but I'm dreaming myself into the possibilities of this co-creative effort. That is true potential. That is magic, right? Magic realism in a way. Magic realism. 8 of Wands, what's going on? 8 of Wands, 8 of Wands, 8 of Wands. Horses are very much about freedom as well. In terms of when you try to, it feels a lot about breaking free of restraints or allowing yourself to do something differently. So when you try to restrain a horse, they buck, right? They really need their freedom. But on the flip side of it, if you never force them into a pen, they'll remain loyal to you and not move too far off, right? Because they are communal animals as well. So there's an aspect of granting yourself your own freedom, right? To imagine yourself into circumstances that are beyond your wildest dreams or only limited by you, right? So this is really interesting. So this 5 of Cups here, right? With the 8 of Wands. So the 5 of Cups is about perspective, right? This is about perspective. Is your perspective on the 2 cups that are upright or on the 3 cups that are empty, right? Your perspective. I feel like this is a lovely nod to the ocean coming up here too with the whale, right? I feel like this is a lovely nod to you are freeing yourself from self-limiting beliefs that have led you to where you are, but don't necessarily have to pave the path to where you're going, right? It feels very exciting. It feels very, very exciting. But you're freeing yourself from self-perceived limitations, and as a result, you have the potential to land somewhere that is bigger and better and more exciting and more fulfilling than anywhere that you've been up until now. How cool is that? It's really cool. I do feel like it's gonna, there is gonna be a moment in time where it does feel like it kind of goes zoom and it happens quite quickly and it all starts to line up, and there will come a time for you to dot your I's and cross your T's and all of that. But for now, it's just about doing the imagining, right? Allowing yourself to connect in with that age-old question of what would you do if time and money were no object? That's imaginative thinking. If time and money were no object, what would I do? Right? And I mean do. Not what would you buy, not, like what would you do? Right? If you had all the free time and money in the world, how would you spend your days? How would you spend your time? There's the information. And you're being asked to just dream with that right now, which is beautiful. Let's get an article. Oh my gosh. Stop. The vision quest, you don't say. What have we been talking about? Right? Dreaming yourself into that potential, right? The vision quest this is exactly what I was just saying. Right? If time and money were no object, how would you spend that time? What would your days look like? Right? What aspects of that can you incorporate into this imaginative thinking about the potential of the path ahead? Right? With the full moon and the pregnancy and everything else. Right? I'm getting a special note here too. With this judgment karma, see these two, how they're mirroring here with this moon cycle, right? There's this aspect too of, I feel like for some of you guys, yeah. There are cycles that are ending. There are cycles that are ending, whatever way, shape, or form that this comes. But these points of completion, because I'm getting back to this Five of Cups here as well. Sometimes, when from a higher perspective, one cycle wants to close out, but we resist it, or we skirt around it because of fear, or whatever else, sometimes it just closes anyway, whether that's through a tower moment, or maybe even a bit softer, but it's something that happens that it's like, wow, that's closed, that's done. There's an ending, whether this be a relationship or, whatever it is for you. Ooh, car horn, hello. Whatever that is for you, right? But there's always an opportunity in that. What do they say? It's such a cliche, but I'm hearing it. When one door closes, another opens. That very much feels like the energy behind this, right? And you're being asked to enjoy being in between one door closing and the other one opening. That's Jonah in the belly of the whale, right? The in-between between one door closing and the other one opening. And the potential of that, right? The best part of a road trip, in my opinion, is getting there. Is the getting there, not the arriving, but the getting there. The journey, right? Enjoy this time. It's not something that comes along like all too often, right? So just enjoy it, because it really feels like once you get to where you're going, it is going to be accelerated, it is going to speed up, there's going to be a lot going on, and you're going to look back on this time and go, wow, that really felt nice. I really look back on that time before I got to where I was going fondly, right? Because what's more exciting than the possibility of something, right? Because in that space, in that imaginative line of thinking, anything can happen, right? It's like talking about pregnancy and the Empress. It's what children are really good at, right? Children are wonderful imaginative thinkers. And they're not going to go, well, that's a great idea, but how much would that cost? Oh, but how would that even work, right? That's not, let's not get too crazy here. Let's think rationally. No, children are like, yeah, oh my God, and then what if we did this? And what if we lived in a house made of rock candy? And then what if we had a pet pterodactyl? And then what if, you know what I mean? It's that imaginative, playful, creative thinking that you're being invited to engage in right now with and for yourself. As it relates to you, however this does resonate, whether this is the work that you do or relationship that you're looking to manifest, or your home life, or your family unit, or whatever this is. This is beautiful. Allow yourself to enjoy this time of the vision quest, because that is really, in my opinion, that is the best part. It's really beautiful. And look how ecstasy filled this seems. It's really stunning. Beautiful. All right, Gemini, you Better get it. This is your March general reading. I so hope that this helped and resonated. This was such a treat. If it did, please let me know in the comments below. I absolutely love reading your comments so much. And with that being said, just thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.